There are moments in life that feel different, quieter, deeper, almost as if something within you is gently trying to wake up. You may have noticed that your journey hasn't followed the easy or predictable path. While others seem to move smoothly through life, your road may have been marked by intense lessons, emotional depth, and periods of profound reflection. If that sounds familiar, this message may speak directly to where you are right now. Not everyone is asked to grow through pressure, uncertainty, and deep self-awareness at the same level. Some people are naturally drawn into experiences that stretch their patience, challenge their mindset, and push them toward inner transformation. These moments can feel confusing when you're in them, but over time, many begin to see a pattern. Every difficult season was quietly building strength, clarity, and resilience within them. In today's video, we're exploring the 7 hardest spiritual tests only the chosen ones endure, the hidden challenges that shape strong, self-aware individuals into their most authentic selves. As you listen, you may recognize pieces of your own story in these signs. Stay with me until the end, because one of these tests might explain exactly what you've been going through lately. Number 1. The isolation test when you feel deeply alone. The first and often most painful test on the spiritual path is isolation. Many people who walk a path of deep inner awareness notice something unsettling. Their circle becomes smaller. Conversations that once felt exciting begin to feel shallow, and environments that once felt comfortable begin to feel heavy. This is not punishment, it is preparation. Growth often requires distance from noise so clarity can finally speak. If you've ever felt like you don't fully belong anywhere, pause for a moment and reflect. What if this season is shaping you rather than rejecting you? Isolation doesn't always mean physical loneliness. Sometimes it shows up in crowded rooms where you still feel unseen. You might notice that your interests, priorities, and emotional depth no longer match the people around you. This stage can be confusing and even heartbreaking. Many people question themselves here. They wonder if something is wrong with them. But often, this phase is simply life creating space for deeper self-connection. Think about a seed planted underground. It must be alone in the dark before it can ever break into the light. The key lesson in this test is learning to become comfortable with your own presence. Instead of running from quiet moments, the journey asks you to sit with them. Journaling, reflection, and mindful solitude become powerful tools. Over time, what once felt like loneliness begins to feel like peace. And here's something to think about. Have you ever noticed how your biggest personal breakthroughs happen during your quietest seasons? Hold that thought as we move forward. Number 2. The dark night of the soul when everything feels uncertain. At some point on a deep spiritual journey, many people encounter what is often described as the dark night. This is the phase where old beliefs collapse, familiar emotional patterns stop working, and life may feel strangely heavy or directionless. It can feel like walking through thick fog with no clear path ahead. During this time, motivation drops, confusion rises, and even things that once brought joy may temporarily lose their spark. What makes this test so difficult is that it doesn't look dramatic from the outside. You may still go to work, talk to people, and carry on daily responsibilities, but internally something profound is shifting. Many describe it as an emotional reset. Old wounds surface. Unhealed memories demand attention. Suppressed fears finally come forward. While uncomfortable, this process is often deeply transformative. It is like emotional detox for the soul. If you are in or have ever been through a season like this, know that it often signals deep inner restructuring. The goal isn't to break you, it's to rebuild you stronger and more aware. During this phase, gentle self-care becomes essential. Rest more, reflect more, be patient with yourself. And consider this question carefully. What parts of your old self might be dissolving to make space for who you are becoming? Number 3. The emotional sensitivity test, feeling everything more deeply. Another powerful challenge many spiritually aware individuals face is heightened emotional sensitivity. You may notice that crowded places drain you faster, negative environments feel heavier, and even small emotional moments affect you more deeply than they seem to affect others. At first, this can feel overwhelming. Some people even try to suppress this sensitivity, believing it makes them weak. In reality, emotional depth is often a form of heightened awareness. Your system becomes more tuned to subtle emotional signals, both your own and those around you. For example, you might instantly sense tension in a room or feel deeply moved by someone else's struggle. While this can be exhausting if unmanaged, it can also become one of your greatest strengths when properly understood. Learning emotional boundaries becomes crucial during this stage. Not every emotion you feel belongs to you. Grounding practices, like spending time in nature, deep breathing, or mindful movement, can help regulate this sensitivity. Over time, what once felt like emotional overload begins to feel like emotional intelligence. Let me ask you something meaningful. Have you ever felt emotion so strongly that others didn't seem to understand why it affected you so much? Number 4, the patience test, when progress feels slow. One of the most frustrating spiritual tests is the test of patience. Growth rarely happens on the timeline we prefer. There are seasons where it feels like you're doing all the inner work, reflecting, healing, improving, yet visible results seem slow to appear. This stage can tempt many people to give up too early. But here is a powerful truth. Deep transformation often happens beneath the surface long before it becomes visible in your outer life. Just like roots grow underground before a tree rises above the soil, your internal changes are building stability and strength. Many people abandon their progress during this phase simply because they cannot yet see the results forming. The patience test teaches emotional endurance. It builds trust in the process of growth itself. Instead of constantly asking, "Why isn't this happening faster?" the journey invites a new question. What is being prepared in me during this waiting season? Sometimes the delay is not denial, it is alignment happening quietly behind the scenes. Number 5. The boundaries test, learning to protect your energy. As awareness grows, another difficult lesson appears. Not everyone is meant to have full access to your time, energy, and emotional space. This realization can be uncomfortable, especially for naturally kind and giving people. Many struggle here because they fear disappointing others or appearing distant. However, without healthy boundaries, emotional burnout becomes almost inevitable. You may notice patterns where you feel drained after certain interactions or overwhelmed by constantly meeting others' expectations. This test is not about becoming cold or detached. It is about becoming wisely selective with your energy. Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect, not selfishness. It means learning when to say yes with intention and when to say no with confidence. Over time, this creates healthier relationships and stronger inner peace. Reflect honestly for a moment. Where in your life might you be giving more energy than you're realistically able to sustain? Number 6. The self-trust test, listening to your inner voice. Perhaps one of the most subtle yet powerful tests is learning to trust your inner guidance. Many people are conditioned from a young age to constantly seek external validation, opinions from friends, family, or society. But the spiritual path often nudges you toward something different, developing confidence in your own inner knowing. This doesn't mean ignoring wisdom from others. Rather, it means learning to balance external advice with internal clarity. There may be moments when your intuition quietly signals that something feels off, even when everything looks fine on the surface. Learning to honor that inner signal takes courage. The more you practice listening inward, the stronger this inner voice becomes. Doubt begins to fade, and decision-making becomes more peaceful. But this growth takes time and repeated experience. Consider this honestly. How often do you override your gut feeling, and what usually happens when you do? Number 7. The purpose alignment test, stepping into your true path. The final and often most life-changing test is alignment with purpose. This stage usually brings big questions. Am I living authentically? Does my daily life reflect who I truly am? What am I being called to grow into next? These questions can feel exciting, but also intimidating. Purpose alignment often requires change, sometimes uncomfortable change. It may involve leaving environments that no longer fit, developing new skills, or stepping into unfamiliar roles. Many people hesitate here because the unknown feels risky. Yet this phase is where life begins to feel more meaningful and intentional. Those who move through this test often describe a deep sense of inner clarity replacing previous confusion. Life may not become easier overnight, but it becomes more aligned. And that alignment creates a quiet but powerful form of confidence. So here is a final question to sit with. If fear wasn't holding you back, what direction would your life naturally begin to move toward? If this message resonated with you, take a quiet moment to reflect on which of these tests you may currently be experiencing. Your journey is unfolding in layers, and every challenge you face may be shaping a stronger, wiser version of you. If you found value in this message, make sure to like the video, subscribe to The Inner Light, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Which of these tests have you personally experienced, and which one challenged you the most? Your story might help someone else feel less alone on their journey.